See, we think that experts are supposed to deliver expertise. No, experts are supposed to help people understand their problems. In the medical industry, they say that prescription before diagnosis is malpractice. Same is true in our business. This is why curiosity is a superpower when it's delivered at the right level. We have to stop delivering advice. And when you're strategically curious more often in conversation, you find out that these two people have a similar set of viewpoints. I'm on a rally cry right now. We're seeing the state of the world that we're in is like, hey, if you don't agree with somebody's point of view, maybe just for a second, get curious about why they believe what they believe and see if what it does is shape the way that you might believe moving forward. Before we jump to judgment, can we just be strategically curious for a second to try and understand if they see the world the same way that you see the world? Because you might find that there are some differences of opinion here. Bring that back towards selling. What selling really is selling is earning the right to make a recommendation. That's what selling is. It isn't embellishing a product or service with features and benefits, hoping it sticks. It's earning the right to make a recommendation, which means you should never, ever, 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 ever invite anybody to do anything unless you can say these words first. And the words you should look to say first are the words because of the fact that you said. Because of the fact that you said blank, blank, and blank, for those reasons, I'd recommend blank, blank, and blank. That is an insanely simple framework to think about in theory and a very challenging framework to execute in practice, because the challenge is collecting the blanks. What is the tool we have for collecting the blanks? Strategic curiosity. I do a ton of work inside the real estate business, and I got asked to deliver a presentation to a few thousand realtors about how they could deliver a more effective listing presentation. The presentation I delivered for them was telling them to not deliver a listing presentation. Because the second they show up and say, like, here's all the things that I can tell you about why my dad's better than your dad, and here's everything that makes us different, which is the same as what the last dude said and the next dude's going to say, instead of doing that show up and throw out presentation, I said, stop for a second and ask questions like this. Well, how long have you been in the house? And they're like, I know this one. And you say, well, what was it that prompted you to move to the neighborhood in the first instance? And they're like, I know this one too. And you say, well, what are some of the reasons about like why the neighborhood's been so good for you for so long? And they're like, I know this one. You see how much easier the conversation flows when you ask people curious questions about what got them to where they are today, and what are some of the things that you like about the house and the somebody looking to buy it might need to know that they wouldn't see at surface level. I know this one too. And what is it that's prompted you to think about possibly making a move? They're like, I know this one. Instead, lazy agent shows up and says, I'm here today to be able to tell you all the great things that we can do to be able to help you sell for the most money in the shortest period of time. And what is it that's motivating you to move? It's different, right? See, if we want to be able to change the future, we have to understand the past. Same is true with every single one of our dealers that we're looking to work with, every single one of our teammates that we're looking to be able to work with, is use curiosity to understand the situation. And a simple rule to remember is if you try to sell somebody on your solution, they'll say that's not the problem. If you show somebody you understand their problem, they'll trust you with a solution. Curiosity is your tool to be able to understand the real situation before we jump into advice monster mode. And if you slow the process down, you'll speed the outcome up. I've been saying that for years. If you slow the process down, you speed the outcome up. And I got some massive reassurance that that's the right way to be able to approach things when I got to work with our US Marines. Because when I got to work with our US Marines, they said that we have a mantra. Because I shared with them, if you slow the process down, you speed the outcome up. They said, we do that. When we go into a hostile environment, we are taught that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And I'm like, well, if that's good enough for our Marines, then we could probably adopt it in a sales process too, when trying to create change with a degree of calm, regardless of how high stakes the environment is. See how curiosity can be used more strategically than we've been thinking about it in the past? And when you remain curious for long enough, it dances you towards that second ingredient called empathy. Empathy is like a buzzword right now. I think people are confusing it with sympathy sometimes. They have a different purpose. Best definition I've ever heard for the word empathy comes from a speaker, author friend of mine by the name of John Acuff. And John Acuff defines empathy as to care about what the people you care about care about. I can't do better than that. So I'm going to borrow John's definition. Who are the people you care about most in the world? Who is the most important person in your life? If you're in any doubt, remember the high school photo. 300 faces wide, what was the first face you looked for? You. You. You are the most important person in your life. You are hardwired for this. You would not be alive today if that was not true. Can you understand that? Like, humanity would not exist today if we didn't have that belief system that we care so much about self. That's how we didn't get killed. Is that crude, is where it comes down to. And I shared this thought with a small audience. There was about 4,000 people in it, that you are the most important person in your life. And there was one lady in the room, and she really didn't like this idea. And you know, when you can see people that are uncomfortable in an audience and they're starting to get fidgety, and she was getting hella mad. And I'm like, oh, it's like a bottle going to get thrown at me or something in a minute. And you could see she was so agitated. And finally, and I'm sharing this point about that you are the most important person in your life. And she stands up in the audience. I'm like, uh-oh. And here's what she says to me, real mad. I am not the most important person in my life. My children are the most important people in my life. And she meant it, right? She really meant it. And I get where she was coming from. But now I've got a disruption with 4,000 people, right? This heckler. And I'm like, what to do. And all this is happening like in nanoseconds in my brain. And the only thing I could think about doing to be kind to this lady at this given moment in time is to respond to her as quietly as possible. So I whispered through the microphone to 4,000 people. I whispered to her kindly whilst looking at her lovingly. I whispered, that's because they're yours. Catch it, right? Even if you think your children or your family are the most important thing in your life, it's because they belong to you. Can't get around it. We're hardwired for this. And because we're hardwired for this, that if you're looking to demonstrate empathy, you have to flick the hardwired switch. Because actually the DNA switch is always going to come back to you, and you. Which means if you're looking to demonstrate empathy towards other people, you have to step into a conscious character of yourself to say that I'm going to put myself second for this moment in time. Because I understand I'm here of service of you and of this given moment. I'm having to flick the switch manually to say that my default code is going to be ignored for a period of time whilst I'm in service of you. Do we understand that important switch? It's like, we got to go there. Let's look at some other things that demonstrate a lack of empathy. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you got somebody reaching out and asking for your help? And there are some people that could reach out and ask for your help, where some people you'd be ready to say heck yes to in an instant, right? Before that person's even got to the end of the ask, you're like, yeah, I got you. And then there are other people that could make the exact same ask. That when they ask, there's a little more friction. You're like, me? This weekend? Really? What is the difference between the people that you say heck yes to versus the people you say hell maybe? The difference is the strength of the relationship, right? And when the relationship is strong, you're ready to say heck yes. And in the heck yes relationship, that relationship is built on high levels of trust. High levels of trust. Business moves at the speed of relationships. Relationships move at the speed of trust. We know that trust is so important. So what we say things like you can trust me. Trust me, I got you. When you invite somebody to be able to trust you, does that increase or decrease trust? Funny, right? I mean, to be honest with you all for a second. Yeah. Right? Because I was lying the rest of the time. We have to be careful of what it is that we say sometimes that sabotages. And in industries like this and across financial services, I've been seeing a lot where people are saying, like, we want to be trusted advisors to our clients. We're trusted advisors to our clients. You don't get to call yourself a trusted advisor. That is something somebody else gets to be able to call you. So if we want to get to trust, how do we get to trust? The math equation to get to trust is curiosity plus empathy. So if you're curious for long enough to understand their context and you're empathetic enough to be able to show that you're relatable, you find yourself having trust. That's how trust is built. There's a button that lives inside the mind of every decision maker on the planet. It's a button that I've learned to call the show me that you know me button. The minute you trigger the show me that you know me button, no longer is it you versus them. It's you and them versus it. A sad piece of news for all of you is nobody wants what you're selling. 0 people want what you got. I'd also probably go as far as saying that not many of the people that you do business with actually want to hang out with you either. They don't want to be your friend. They're not looking to spend more FaceTime with you. They don't enjoy your company that much. They want what you've got because. They want to spend time with you because. They want the benefit of the relationship because. And there is some form of need or desire that is a long way past the immediate transaction, the immediate need. If you don't know what the because is, you're not empathetic. I do a ton of work with young people, and I say, what do you want to do? They say, I want to go to college to be able to do this and this and this. And I'm like, why? And they're like, because. I'm like, yeah, but why? And they're like, because. You're like, why? And they're like, because. And after like 3-5 minutes, you find out they have no desire to go to college. They just want to make the daddy proud. That's actually the real because. This is a completely different set of reasons. Or what they want to be able to do is to do something that their family unit has said hasn't been possible by anybody up until right now. And they wanted to be able to pay back the effort and energy and exposure that had been put into them by other people. Like it wasn't to be able to do the thing that they thought it was. How does everything change when you understand the because? See, if you're having conversations with dealers about your products and services and how your dad's better than their dad, this is elementary level conversations. If you can find out what it is that they're looking to be able to do, and you'll have dealers that are looking to be able to stabilize their business right now so it becomes attractive to somebody else in their family unit to look to be able to take this on. You'll have dealers that are looking at saying, well, we're trying to be able to build an exit strategy so that we can realize maybe some of the effort and energy that's gone into this legacy business over the last 20, 30, 40 years, and we're looking to be able to put it into the hands of a way that somebody might want to be able to acquire it. Or the because might be, oh, geez, like if I don't figure this thing out and turn it around, then all of my family's hard work and heritage is going to go to pot, and the only option I'm going to have is to have it swallowed up by a major blank. Is this true? If you can get to know that, you're not selling them solutions and products anymore. You're an ally in the mission to say that or not that. That's what your extra time is supposed to be useful. And if you don't know their because, you're an amateur. If you know for sure what it is they're trying to actually be able to do, you can then show them how them having access to an AI tool that can mean that they can have more effective conversations with their customers without it needing to be a member of their team at 24 hours a day is going to help them achieve their because. You're not talking to them about the features and benefits of this new widget and technology, because guess what? There'll be new technology and more new technology that's all coming, but the mission is what we want to care about. And we'll use any tools that are available to be able to help them achieve the mission. Get to know the mission of the people you're looking to help, and you'll demonstrate higher levels of empathy.